Well, guys, I'm in my new dress and crying because I brought in the throne. And you remember yesterday, God gave me this ring, which He said was a poetry ring because He calls me my songbird and my singing canary and things like that. Because of my poetry, because I write for Him often, and He loves it. I write for Him romantically, and He loves it, of course. So I brought in the poetry throne He gave me, and it had a note. It came from a friend down the street who just suddenly felt that she should give it to me. And it was full of love, the note. And it is marked with this flower on it. And then I just started crying. And I know that these little things underneath also mean something. And He tells me what things mean over time. There's this too, which is a common decoration, but I just got done gilding the bee throne, and it had those, and He had me gild them. This throne has an L scratched into the top of it, which He said, see, it's a Lisa throne. And it's very comfortable to sit in and write. And I always used to keep an upholstered chair at my desk to write my poetry, but I'm going to go back to this flower for a minute. And I've been wanting an upholstered chair to write in. This flower made me cry my eyes out. Now, when I was not married yet to my first husband, I wore a purity ring until our marriage, and it was a chain of simple daisies. It was a James Avery ring, and that was what I wore and what we exchanged on our wedding day. But this flower is slightly different than that, though it's got the same simple lines, and God keeps repeating it. And this matches my wallpaper exactly in my bedroom, this chair. And my bedroom is right beside my office. But the flowers, I'm going to see if I can make this show. This is a ring from my grandma. It has a similar flower on the side of it. It is a beautiful antique ring, and it fits me exactly, even though it was in her possessions. This one, the king gave me in 2014. It was made of rose gold. This rose gold is not the old rose gold that we knew of where I came from. And hidden within this at the top, I'm trying to make it where you can see it. There at the top of it, right next to the stone, which is a 6-carat emerald, is the flower. Repeated again. Now this one was bought from an estate auction. It was worth over $5,000. It's a Colombian emerald. I got it for a song because God bought it for me, and I ended up paying very little for it. Now this flower is repeated over and over and over again in my belongings. But on the first throne that God saw to it that I got to have. See, it's in an old armoire that I bought from a antique store connected to a thrift store. And here, the flowers are right here and right there. And it's in all of those. It's on the pulls of the armoire. I bought that, gosh, years ago, and Cliff fitted it out to hold our television because I didn't like it visible. But the first throne that God got for me, the flowers are here on the, I hope you can see it in the light, on the leg of it, showily. And that's the place they're probably the most showy, but this is a repeated thing, and He keeps it a mystery. He calls me my rose, and He sings to me all the time. Sometimes old songs that have never been heard because they were lost to antiquity, but of course He knows them. So old rose songs, things like that. But this, maybe it's a rose, but I'm thinking it's another flower, and so it's a mystery, and I do not know what it means, but he keeps sending it to me on rings. And it doesn't matter. I mean, this ring of my grandma's, was in a trailer that she kept on her land for 30 years. She used to run a swap shop with antiques in it. And when we cleaned out the trailer, this ring was in it, and I inherited it. But it's exactly my size. So was the rose gold emerald ring. When it arrived, it was exactly my size. I meant to have it size, but it was exactly my size. But my finger swelled up, and I had to cut it off. So I'm waiting to have that size, to have the gold for it. But anyway, so I don't know what this mystery is, but it's beautiful.